This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Take a step back in time and discover old Florida cuisine at Marsh Landing Restaurant in Fellsmere. Enjoy delicacies such as frog legs, gator tail, catfish, and swamp cabbage, or enjoy the more traditional cuisine like hand-cut Angus steaks, ribs, and seafood. Join us for breakfast with a southern flair featuring sweet potato pancakes, biscuits and gravy, and much more. Planning a party? Marsh Landing's private dining room can accommodate groups from 8 to 80 people. While you're visiting, enjoy the historic pictures, artifacts, and stories that line the walls. Marsh Landing is truly a unique experience. Marsh Landing Restaurant, 44 North Broadway in historic Fellsmere, or visit marshlandingrestaurant.com. Marsh Landing, Old Florida cuisine at its best.
The X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell is largely an opinion talk show. All opinions, comments, or statements of fact expressed by Rob McConnell's guests are strictly their own and are not to be construed as those of the X-Zone Radio Show or endorsed in any manner by Rob McConnell, Relmar McConnell Media Company, the X-Zone Broadcast Network, its affiliated networks, stations, employees, or advertisers.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
And welcome back to the X-Zone, everyone. I am Rob McConnell. We're coming to you from our broadcast center in snowy and freezing Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, where it is so cold they've decided to put pants, underwear, and winter clothing on the statues down in Jackson Square and in Gage Park. That's how cold it is here. If you'd like to send me an email, studio@xzoneradiotv.com, on all social media sites, X-Zone Radio TV, and our main website where you can find out what we're doing, what we have been doing, and what we intend on doing, www.xzoneradiotv.com. Christmas is just around the corner. Today it is, December the 20th. That means for all you people who are going to be going out and buying your Christmas gifts, with those of you who go Christmas morning to the Quickie Mart to see whatever is left over on the shelves because you either got too drunk and didn't remember that the following morning was Christmas morning, or you just don't really give a damn about your family. But whatever the case is, you have 4 days for the real people, and for all you piss tanks out there, you've got 5 days. Let's see. I was talking to my good friend and guest this hour, Helen Rees, about Christmas, and Christmas is way too commercialized. Like, if you don't spend anywhere from $700 to $1,000 on a kid, you're a cheap son of a gun. I remember when I was a kid. Yes, I do have a good memory. Thank you very much for pointing that out, X-Zone Nation. When I was a kid, it was all about family. It was about, well, in my case, the food, let's face it. And but having mom and dad home, my aunts, my uncles, my grandmother, my younger brother, Christmas was special down there. And if you'd like to see what my Christmas was like as a young boy growing up, later on this afternoon or this evening, I will have up at X-Zone, xzbn.net, a story I've been writing and circulating for the past 25 years, and it's carried in newspapers, magazines, throughout Canada and the United States. It's all about my youth, and it'll be available to each and every one of you at www.xzbn.net. As I said, my special guest this hour is my good friend Helen Rees, all the way in Australia, where Santa Claus comes on a sleigh that is pulled by 8 tiny kangaroos and 1 wombat. Helen Rees is a spiritual and psychic medium of 25 years, which means she started doing her mediumship when she was 6 months old. Her focus is on spiritual healing for the mind, body, and soul, and bridging the gap between the material and spiritual worlds. Helen's belief is that all things are possible in the universe, and after having watched the American elections this year, I agree with her. Anything is possible in the universe. She believes we must surrender our ego to work with spirit so we can actually expand our minds. She works at being kind to people and approaching them with a lighthearted and sensible attitude. And no, she does not carry a gun, a baseball bat, or a black stick. She teaches others not to give into or to move forward regardless of life obstacles. For her, the key to success is love and showing compassion and understanding to all. And joining me now from Australia, where today is tomorrow, is my good friend Helen Rees. And Helen, to you and your husband, who is very quiet in the background, I don't know why, a very Merry Christmas.
A very Merry Christmas to you and everyone else. Thank you, Rob.
Have you been busy these past couple of days trying to save souls and reconcile the evil in the world and trying to make this place a better world for one and all?
I've actually been a very lazy girl the last couple of days. I haven't been doing very much at all, so I've just been sitting relaxing, which is a bit unusual for me because everyone's saying, "What's wrong with you?"
Is it because you're preparing for the onslaught that 2017 is going to be bringing in? Now, listen, I'm giving you an out here, so take it.
I've actually decided that I'm going back to study.
Really?
And I think I'm a mad woman, but there you go.
Well, one must do what one must do in order to fulfill one's own purpose and longing in life.
So it's all good fun, though. I'm actually enjoying it.
Well, that's great to hear, my friend. You and I have to take a commercial break. So Skippy the Kangaroo, if you're listening, Helen Rees is my special guest, and her website is eventshelenrees.com. And she's a great lady. We've had the pleasure of having her on the show many times before, and I promise you in the years to come, we will also have her on the show. Sincerity, honesty, and integrity are 3 main virtues that I look for in a guest, and this is what I found in Helen Rees. Once again, her website is eventshelenrees.com. My name is Rob McConnell. This is the X Zone, and like I said, we're coming to you live and around the world from our broadcast center in snowy and freezing Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Don't go away.
This is the X Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
How would you like to be able to read other people's minds? Well, the next best thing is here. When you know how to read a person's name, you know how the person thinks, feels, and behaves. Each letter in our name holds a key to unlock our true essence. Our name contains both our gifts and challenges in this lifetime. Mnemology science discovers personality secrets hidden in the placement of the letters of our names, including the first and last impression people remember about us. Sharon shows us how to interpret the arrangement of letters as outlined in her book, Know the Name, Know the Person. Sharon Lynn Wyeth created mnemology science after 18 years of research and testing her theories, and has supported thousands of people around the world in understanding themselves and others better. You'll enjoy Sharon's unique teachings as she shares her system to learn the gifts behind your given birth name. Even if you don't like your birth name, there are jewels in this book. If you're thinking of changing your name, ready to name your child, or wanting to get along better with others, this is the book for you. If you'd like to improve your relationships and change your life for the better, get the book today, Know the Name, Know the Person, or visit www.knowthename.com. That's www.knowthename.com.
Take a step back in time and discover old Florida cuisine at Marsh Landing Restaurant in Fellsmere, Florida. Enjoy delicacies such as frog legs, gator tail, catfish, and swamp cabbage, or enjoy the more traditional cuisine such as hand-cut Angus steaks, ribs, and seafood. Join us for breakfast with a southern flair featuring sweet potato pancakes, biscuits and gravy, and much more. Planning a party? Marsh Landing's private dining rooms can accommodate groups from 8 to 80 people. While you visit, enjoy the historic pictures, artifacts, and stories that line the walls. Marsh Landing is truly a unique experience. Marsh Landing Restaurant, 44 North Broadway in historic downtown Fellsmere, or visit marshlandingrestaurant.com. Marsh Landing, old Florida cuisine at its best.
Welcome back, everyone. Helen Rees is our special guest, and her website is www.eventshelenrees.com. And Helen, something that was in the news here in North America today was that the Australian government is saying that they've been looking in the wrong place for the past 3 years for flight MH370. What is your take on that?
On that, was it the plane you said?
Yep, the plane that.
It's all about money at the moment, so it's difficult situation for the government at the moment. The revenues have gone down dramatically because of everything we've got is underground. So, and with the prices falling, this has created a lot less revenue coming into the government, which is why they're sitting in a deficit at the moment. And so this is why they're really having a second look at the cost of the plane and what purpose will it do? What good will it be for Australia as it stands? I still believe they'll go ahead with it, but it's like the evaluation that's been going on, and it's all because of the elections in the US, unfortunately. Everyone's been really looking at themselves in terms of politics here. Each of the parties have been looking at themselves and reflecting where they should be really heading. And the people have been showing them quite clearly that they're not happy with the standard guff that's been coming out of their mouths, basically. And this will, if they don't change their attitudes, there's going to be dramatic changes like the US have come to understand.
Yeah. Well, even up here in Canada, we are seeing movements that are basically getting ready to treat the Canadian government, which I believe time has well come for that, the same way that the people of the United States showed the American government that they're sick and tired of being abused, and that it's the people, the government of the people, not the government of the rich.
Yes,
so
and it's big business that's created that furor, in fact, and it's that continual aspect of growth. You know, we've got to, we have to get our shareholders more money. But you know, it's beyond that. When you start downsizing with employment and everything else, that means taxes are going to go down. Everything that goes into the government and whatever else is happening is being reduced because of the downsizing.
Sure, there's a ripple effect.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And private companies have got to start looking beyond the way they've looked in the last 20 years. And until they do, there's such a problem with job security. No one's got job security these days.
True. Yeah.
And it's a very difficult thing. And if you're lucky to have a business that you own and you can run with that and you can make your money out of it, then that's fantastic. But if you rely on a job to keep living, then everything has to be looked at from the customer base right up to the shareholders and beyond. And they have to rethink the whole thing.
Well, you know that old saying, the rich get richer and the poor get screwed.
Yes.
Do you have a lot of homeless people in Australia, street people?
We certainly have our share. We wouldn't have. There are certainly homeless people around.
Right.
But I frankly think there's no need for that. The issue mainly is that it's drugs and everything else that creates that homelessness.
Plus mental illness plays a big part in the
mental
homeless.
Illness is such a difficulty.
Yeah.
I think that's the one thing that no one even that there is such a lot of mental illness, and you have to wonder why. Why is that happening?
Well, I love the Australian immigration policy. Like, you've got very strict immigration laws in Australia. Here in Canada, we have a prime minister and a Canadian group of elected wingnuts who are opening up the doors to more Syrian and refugees from that area, while there are still homeless people, children who are not able to get decent meals, people who don't have proper clothing, people who need medical care, mental care. And my philosophy is a little off the wall, because I figure take care of the Canadians first, solve the problems that we have now, and then open the doors.
But we've got a similar policy with refugees.
Oh, you do,
I think we're just being a bit more selective now in terms of perhaps religion.
Yeah.
That's where it's coming from, I think, more. That's where they look. But they're still bringing the Syrians in. It's just not well advertised.
What is the feeling of the people of Australia that Donald Trump is going to be the 45th president of the United States of America next January the 20th?
Well, it's like everyone's got an opinion. They either love him or they hate him.
Yeah.
And but frankly, if you look at, I don't even think he'll be a president like Obama was.
Thank God. Thank God.
Yeah, I think he'll be a CEO with key people, and he will just be ticking the boxes. Basically, this is how I see it.
But isn't that what countries need today? Because countries are businesses, they're corporations. In fact, the leader of the United States is called the president of the country, or as I look at it, the president of the business. And I think, and this is just my own belief, that it'll take a business person like Donald Trump in the United States, instead of whatever we've got in Ottawa, to turn the country around. And Donald Trump has shown the people that the American dream can come true. You do not have to be born with a political silver spoon in your mouth to become a president.
Yeah, I think it's obscene, the amount of money that is spent on elections. It's absolutely obscene.
Yep.
Fortunately, here in Australia, they're not allowed to go too far overboard with things like that. That money is so wasted. For what?
But you know what? Every time Hillary Clinton would fly around, it was the RNC. I'm sorry, the Democratic Party that was flipping the bill. When Donald Trump was flying around, he was flying around in his own plane, paying his own bills.
Yeah, and you have to respect that.
Yes, very much so.
Regardless of what you think, because he's also said that he's not going to take a salary, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. It's going to be very interesting, to say the least, the first 100 days of his presidency. Personally, I wish President-elect Trump the very best, and I really do hope, and this is from the bottom of my heart, and yes, Craig, I really do have one, that he is as good for the people, and that he takes care of the people as he promised he would.
Yes. And let us hope that's what comes out of everything.
Exactly.
You know. But I don't think he'll be bad. I think it's time for a change, and the old guard's got to go.
Oh yeah, but it's. I really thought that the Clintons thought they would have a chance up until yesterday, because it was only yesterday that the Electoral College actually was the last stumbling block, where the 378 members of the Electoral College had to vote for the leader. Even though the people had voted, now it was the turn for the Electoral College, and he surpassed the 271 point, or 276, I forget what the number is. But today, Bill Clinton was upset. Hillary didn't have the same opportunities that Donald Trump had. No, that's because she's a criminal, for God's sake. Bill, what about the server in the basement of your house? What about Benghazi, Bill? What about all the times she lied to the FBI and to Senate and to Congress? Like, hello, Bill.
My husband's going to love you, Rob.
Oh. Does he feel the same way?
He does.
Yeah. There you go. It's a guy thing, you see. What's your husband's first name?
Dennis.
Dennis, will you tell Dennis that I'm his number one fan?
He watches very closely the whole scenario of the US and the world scene. So that's why I'm a little bit up to date, because I just listen to him.
And yesterday when they had that horrific attack in Berlin, Donald Trump called it a terrorist attack right away, while every other politician was pussyfooting around. And you know what? He shoots from the hip. Now, everybody says, but he's going to have the codes. Well, he may have the codes, but he's also going to have a group of people around him that are going to help guide him. And I think that the fact that his family is going to be part of what he is doing, I think it's great.
I
really
think it's excellent.
great,
I think that what he's done is surrounding himself with people he can trust. And that's how else is he going to succeed?
That is true.
Because I don't think there's too many trustworthy people out there in politics.
No, I agree with you. There are not that many. In fact, my wife said, "Why haven't you ever run for politics?" And I said, "Because I'd be shot within the first 10 minutes of putting my name in." So I enjoy life a little bit too much. So I stand behind the microphone, or sit behind the microphone, where I can actually get a message across to the masses. And you know what? This is who I am. This is what I believe in. And I was for Donald Trump from the minute he threw his hat into the arena. And I just really believe that he is going to be a light on the way the entire world looks at politics, and change is going to happen. But it's going to be a good change. I think what we see with Black Lives Matter and all these protests are just people who are really pissed off that they're not getting their own way. And they know damn well, with Donald Trump sitting in the White House with the power of executive orders and the police and law enforcement and the military behind him, there's going to be changes, but changes for the good, for the people, by the people, instead of by the people, for I. Listen, you and I have to take our break. When we come back, let's talk about the way that you, Helen Rees, see the world for 2017. How's that sound? Like a plan?
Sounds good.
All right, Exo Nation, my guest is my good friend Helen Rees, and her husband Dennis is somewhere around, probably watching a Donald Trump movie right now, and I don't blame him. So we're going to be back as we continue here in the X Zone from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. I was going to say something about Black Lives Matter, but I decided I wasn't going to say that they're a terrorist group. So I'll save that for another show. We'll be back. Don't go away.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
While science pursues fact, magic accesses the quantum level, bridging random facts to form truth. As long as science and magic remain separate and polarized, the truth cannot be known. I'm Gwilda Wiyaka. Join me on the Science of Magic radio program, dedicated to unification and evolution of consciousness. During each episode, I'll be speaking with experienced and respected scientists and mystics. From astrologers to astronomers, from medical doctors to shaman, the scientific method to dowsing and intuition, we'll weave together information from seemingly divergent practices to promote unity and enlightenment. Join me, Gwilda Wiyaka, and the Science of Magic right here on the Mutual Broadcast Network. For more information, visit www.thescienceofmagic.net.
Gibbs A. Williams, Ph.D., is a practicing psychoanalyst, supervisor, researcher, and author in New York City. Much of his life has been dedicated to understanding nature and the uses of meaningful coincidences or synchronicities. His radical and original non-Jungian, non-mystical, non-magical theory of synchronicities illuminates much of the fog surrounding this challenging and perplexing topic. His ideas and manners are fresh, presented in a style that is both entertaining and highly informative. He is also an expert on crisis intervention, specially focused on violence reduction for the police and citizens, mastering anxiety, frustration, and stress without the use of medication, and effectively preventing and treating heroin addiction. Dr. Williams can be contacted at his email address at gwwilliamsny11@aol.com or visit his website at
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X-Zone Broadcast Network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365.
Afterlife expert Roberta Grimes was the first one to say that dying can be fun. Now her best-selling book, The Fun of Dying, is available in stores worldwide. So if you wonder whether death ends life, how it feels to die, or what heaven might be like, The Fun of Dying was written for you. And if you have always been afraid of death, or if you worry that your life has no meaning, let The Fun of Dying ease your fears and bring new meaning to your life. Nothing said in The Fun of Dying is based on the teachings of any religion. Instead, Roberta draws on evidence to explain how death happens, how it feels, and what comes next. A lot of the best death-related evidence was produced in the first half of the 20th century. When it is put together with recent discoveries, it tells a consistent and amazing story. Roberta Grimes blogs and answers questions at robertagrimes.com.
Exonation, let me see, January 28, 29, and 30th, I am going to be in Fallsmere, Florida, with Larry Lawson at the paranormal event that he is putting on. All the law enforcement officers who investigate paranormal activity in the state of Florida and surrounding states are going to be coming to a convention meeting in Fellsmere. And if you'd like more information on that, go to Larry's website, Florida FBI, paranormalfbi.com. That's paranormalfbi.com. And Laura and I will look forward to meeting and greeting with all our good listeners and friends in Florida. Alrighty, Exonation. My guest this hour, Helen Rees. And Helen was kind enough to send us her predictions for the year 2017. Starts off 2017 as a spiritual year, one of cultivating your worth by working on your inner self, for introspection and reflection to fully understand who you truly are and your heart desires. And as a result, receive the guidance you need to achieve your dreams. Filling your life with fun, laughter, love, and compassion for others is a sure way to succeed. Truer words were never spoken. Helen, welcome back. And Helen, tell us what you see for the month of January.
So January is a bit of a creative month, to begin to be open and openness, and for understanding and growing yourself. And you can achieve that by accepting your current situation so that new ideas and inspirations can flow into your life. Rewards and opportunities can come your way if you're prepared. So being creative on a personal, business, or relationship level. But a word of caution, just being too sensitive may cause unnecessary issues. So don't take things too personal.
All right. So on a personal level, when people are listening, how should they reflect on the past, and how can they change what they have done in the past to improve themselves into the future?
Meditation. So this is as simple as it gets, and meditation can be many things. You can be sitting out in your back porch, just reflecting on where you are, where you've been, and not dwell on what you consider mistakes in your lives, because often those things are there for a reason for growth. And no matter what happens, if you accept all that has occurred in your past, then everything else will flow, and you can just move forward. And look, I've experienced this myself. I'm talking from experience, because if you continue to sit in the past, nothing changes, nothing evolves, and we have to let it go. Let go whatever happened, and that includes everything: happiness, sadness, anger. Anger's the worst. Anger's the worst thing. So, if we can let go of anger, then everything bubbles up to be really a lovely place to be.
What I have seen over the years is that people have forgotten how to love themselves and forgive themselves. And if you cannot forgive yourself, and if you can't love yourself, no one else can.
Absolutely. And it's like when you do love yourself, well, that's when the doors open to love, to receive love. And it's knowing your worth, valuing yourself. For you're a human being, God put you on this earth, and here you are, and it's up to you to make the most of it. And it doesn't matter what mistakes you make. And I'll put all those in inverted commas. It doesn't matter. It is what it is. We make decisions sometimes that we regret, but, it's done. You can't do anything about it, so just move on.
And that's another thing. People have a hard time to move on. Like, I've got friends that have had bad relationships, and because they cannot just release what happened in their past relationship, I can see it starting to eat into the relationship that they've just started, and I can see a collision course for these people.
Yes, and it's sad because they're all I can remember, all their mind is saying is, I have to get rid of that little alter ego that sits in the back of your head that keeps talking to you all the time. Right. I call mine Lulu. I tell Lulu to get lost sometimes because the thoughts that keep coming, this is going to happen again. Why me? Why is it happening? And it is really a discipline to actually sit down and say, no, that is not going to happen again. I'm going to give this a chance.
I believe that if you confess it, you will possess it. If you say it's going to fail, it will fail. If you say it's going to succeed, it will succeed.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at the month of February.
So February's a pretty good month, actually. Very stable and healthy for everyone. Globally, for business, it's good for both current and new ventures. And there's not much more to say except that it's like a bit of a consolidation period where business, particularly if we talk about business a bit, they can, if they start looking at their products or their services and how they can enhance them and to bring all the people together so that they can enrich their business and start employing people again.
All right, let's take a look at March, my favorite time of the month, because that's my favorite time of the year, because that's when St. Patrick's Day is. And I can drink green beer and not get into trouble for it.
So delegation's the secret of success. So remember not to take on too much. There are other people around to help you. So don't think you have to do everything yourself. So I've got another little thing here. I can't explain it to you, but I'm going to say it.
Okay.
There's a global removal of difficult elements that will occur. Now, that I got spiritually. So I have no idea what that actually means. So I'm just, wouldn't tell me any more than that, except that one or more people will be stopped or restrained for this to occur. So there will be difficult things that have been going on around the world that will come to an end.
Wow. In a good way.
In a good way.
Excellent.
Yes. In a good way.
All right, April 2017.
Yes, success in clarifying your journey forward relies on your inner sincerity. So what I mean by that, in fact, is that if you have any ulterior motives within you, then whatever you desire won't be achieved, because you have to be honest and sincere with yourself as to what you truly want, and it's not going to hurt anybody else. So that's a bit deep, I know, but 2017 is a spiritual year, and this is, to me, it's important. Changing the attitude will just help you on your way. So instead of being, thinking, what can I get out of this?
Yes.
It's more about what do I truly want and what is it good for everybody? How will it help me to be for the good of others?
So far we've done 4 months, and what I've seen here is that we are taking an inner perspective and look at ourselves, and we're all saying, okay, we may have screwed up in the past. In fact, we have screwed up in the past. We have had negativity, but let's turn things around now so that we can all share a wonderful future. Is this the general aspect that you're seeing?
Absolutely. And I see a lot of, I see we can have a lot of fun this year, so it's really about enjoying life and taking the little things into consideration. There are often things we would love to do, but circumstances may be that we can't do it, but maybe we can just take the dream just down the street a bit and work our magic in that.
Well, dreams don't have to be all done in one day. They very rarely are. Dreams are a process. The dream is the idea, and then actually working towards the dream, putting in the sweat equity, putting in the time, putting in the hard work that goes into anything worthwhile happening, takes time.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I guess what we can say for that is don't bite off more than you can chew.
Absolutely.
All right. Now we're looking at which May, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So this is about, we're going to use the analogy of a garden here, and it's about tending. You know how you tend your garden, you weed it, you water it, you grow new plants, you just generally care for it. But if you overwater or you underwater, you're going to have problems, aren't you, in the garden? So for us, if we do this, it's a time for feeding and refreshing our ideas and projects, and doing it frequently so that will ensure their future development. So we have to keep, when we've got our dreams and our desires, whether it's in business, whether it's on a personal level, because I'm talking about a lot about business because it's, to me, it's about growth for the world at the moment,
right?
And business is going to have a lot to do with it. So getting back to what I'm saying, so a balanced process will ensure success. So if we just, make sure that we do all and not be too pressured to do it one way or the other, I feel that everything will start flowing in the direction that you want.
All right, and I think we've got room for the month of June before we have to go to our break.
Okay, so this is a little statement I found. A genius does what it must do, and talent does what it can. So,
I like that.
In other words, do the best that you can possibly do, and don't concern yourself with the results. They will be what they will be.
That's right.
And if we use Vincent van Gogh as an example, his genius wasn't recognized in his lifetime. So, we have what we have, and God gave us lots of things, and maybe sometimes we're just doing things in the wrong place.
In the wrong time.
Yeah. So if we look at it like that and think, I was a bit ahead of myself there, or I was a bit behind, you can accept that situation more. So I think June will be a good month for prospering countries around the world, actually.
All right, stand by, my good friend. Exonation, Helen Rees is our special guest, and we're going to make these predictions for 2017 available to each and every one of you. All you have to do is go to xzbn.net, and you'll see predictions 2017. Helen Rees, you'll see her picture there, and you'll be able to download these predictions with her compliments, and we thank you for that, Helen. Helen and I will be back on the other side of this short break as we continue here in the X Zone from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. From my wife Laura, our family, our friends, and everyone here at Relmar McConnell Media Company, we wish you, each and every one of you, a very Merry Christmas, and 2017 filled with love, happiness, light, and prosperity. I'm Rob McConnell. This is the X Zone. We'll be back. Don't go away.
This is the X Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X Zone Broadcast Network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan, and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365.
I am Dr. Carl O'Helvey, founder president of a new cancer foundation focusing on evidence-based physical, mental, and spiritual interventions, including natural cancer cures, prayer, meditation, affirmations, nutrition, and other related holistic cancer prevention and cure modalities. These are used in cancer education, research, and financing care. I ask for your help to continue this important work by donating at www.holisticcancerfoundation.com.
Wouldn't you love to know the secret to everything? Well then, meet Dr. Kimberly McGeorge and her cutting-edge breakthrough knowledge that combines science with possibility. Dr. Kimberly brings real-life answers and healing to those open to alternative solutions. She teaches solution-based programs and classes that will change all areas of your life forever. Specializing in conscious creation, intuitive readings, and energy medicine, you can rapidly shift health, relationships, business, and money and abundance challenges quickly. Receive her best-selling book, Secret to Everything, at no cost by going to secrettoeverything.com/X-Zone. That's right, transformation can start now. Just go to secrettoeverything.com/X-Zone and receive Dr. Kimberly's book for free.
What Happened in Benghazi is revealed by Nicholas Genix, author of Obama, Islam, and Benghazi. He informs the American people that President Obama deceived them by advocating a strong foreign policy prior to the 2012 presidential election, and Hillary Clinton supported this deception. As the title infers, there is a connection between Obama, Islam, and Benghazi. Ample evidence informs Americans that Obama's early indoctrination in the Quran developed an affinity for Islam, why the Quran is the source of discontent in many countries, and why the Obama foreign policy deception led to poor military action and caused the loss of American lives in Benghazi. Genix provides 36 questions for the Select Committee on Benghazi to validate if Americans are justified to mistrust President Obama and Hillary Clinton. An overview of Obama, Islam, and Benghazi is presented on the website www.futureofgodamen.com. That's www.futureofgodamen.com. You're listening to the X-Zone Broadcast Network, www.xzbn.net.
X-Zone Nation, as I was saying earlier tonight, I'm going to be in Fellsmere, Florida, January 27th to the 29th at the second annual Treasure Coast Para-Unity Conference, where a couple of the speakers, including yours truly, are going to be Brian Cano from The Haunted Collector, Andrea Perron, the author of House of Darkness, House of Light, which inspired the movie The Conjuring, is going to be there. I'm going to be there. And also with, Rich Valdez is going to be there, Sean Porter, Doug Dillon, Bob Sankner, Rob Robinson, Terry Reed, and Jamie Pierce, as well as our good friend Larry Lawson, who is the host of the Paranormal Stakeout here on the X-Zone Broadcast Network. Now, tickets to the public are $35 for the meet and greet, and that is on Friday from 5:30 until 7:30. The next day, paranormal investigations from 9 p.m. until 2 a.m. are $35 to go. $35 for lecturers, and for the entire public event, $90. Paranormal teams get a special discount at $50 per team for the entire week and events. I'd also like to thank the good people at Marsh Landing Restaurant for sponsoring the X-Zone Radio and TV show while we're down there. For more information, you can visit Larry Lawson's website. Oh, we're going to put this poster on our website, but Larry's, he's got paranormalstakeout.com, but he also has paranormalfbi.com. And Helen, I'm surprised at the number of police officers that are actually involved in investigating the paranormal.
Is there?
Yeah.
You wouldn't think so, the way they deny everything.
Well, you see, the times are changing, my dear. The times are changing, and this is just proof of what you were saying before.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so let's go back to your predictions because we've got 9 minutes and we're at the month July right now.
Okay. So just July is a month to plan your future. Gather and consolidate in preparation for the next phase. So because tomorrow has a lot to do with today's lifestyle, and countries making long-term decisions in this month will affect their future prosperity in a good way. So it's a fairly simple month, really. Yeah. It's about really consolidating everything around you and in preparation.
All right, let's take a look at August.
So a new chapter of experience will occur for many. This is a good month for new ideas and projects. Fairly simple one, that one.
Yeah. September?
Now, this one, I'm going to just say it. In September, a strong hand will calm political panic. A world figure will intervene when leaders are failing, and he will champion the truth and transform the confusion into vibrant energy.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know who that is, so time will tell with that, won't it? So, it's very interesting. That was very interesting when that came through.
Yeah.
So,
I'm just going to read that again. In September, a strong hand will calm political panic. A world figure will intervene when leaders are failing. He will champion the truth and transform the confusion into vibrant energy. It's going to be an interesting month. Very interesting. October.
Out of the darkness comes light. So an aversion of disaster on a global scale will occur because of previous events, and I feel that relates to September.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever was going to happen, where I feel will be averted. So there won't be any. It'll be like, wow, we escaped that one.
All right, the month of November.
So November is a good time to talk.
Mm-hmm.
So I get into trouble for talking too. So improved communications will make everything clear and simple. Just watch out for rumor, gossip, and intrigue.
And as we come back and make a complete 360, let's go on to December of next year.
So in December, there's an opportunity to attain your dreams, providing you are willing to experience the ups, downs, the thrills and disappointments that go along with it. Your dreams are worth it. Happy New Year, everyone.
You know, and thank you for those predictions, and thank you for wishing us all a new year, and thank you very much for coming on the show throughout this year. As I was telling you off air during the commercial break, I thoroughly enjoy having you on the show. I love your energy, and I love the way that you look at life. You have given our listeners something to look forward to in the next year, a positive thing. And there are so many people who give these doom and gloom predictions. And
I'm a bit over them.
Well,
so,
you know,
I think life is what we make it. So let's move forward and enjoy it.
Exactly. And, you know, so many people say, well, geez, I can't do that because I failed, or I can't do that for one reason or another. And my belief is that every failure you have, every disappointment you have, every unsuccessful venture that you have is a lesson to success.
Yes.
You need to learn from your mistakes.
And that's how we succeed.
Exactly.
So
when you're talking to spirit, can you just turn them on and off, or are they around you all the time?
Yeah.
Do they chat with you?
Basically, they're here. If I need them, they're here.
What do your spirits? Do they have a message for me?
Okay. So let's just have a little tune in here.
Okay.
So, Rob, the future belies the truth. And what they mean by that, I don't know. But it's for you, Rob.
The future belies the truth?
Truth.
Okay.
The future belies the truth.
No.
They're being very ambiguous, aren't they?
Yeah, what does belies mean?
It just means that where it's not what you perceive the truth isn't necessarily the truth.
Right. Okay, that's the same. And you know this.
They're just saying to me. They're just saying to me now that as you move forward in this coming year, life changes will occur for you.
Mm-hmm.
But it isn't in a bad way. It is merely a change. And this is how you need to look at it.
Yeah.
For some things will be a bit of a shock to you.
That's the business I'm in.
Yeah. So that's it.
All right. Next, this coming weekend is Christmas. How do you celebrate Christmas in Australia? You and I were talking about this before we went on here, but let's let our listeners know.
Lots of food.
Yeah.
Some we don't drink a lot in our household, but there's drink. We enjoy our little drinks, and we got people coming in and out of our home. My daughter's decided she's going to drive down to a little place called Gloucester. It's about an 8-hour drive from Brisbane, and it's down in New South Wales. And so she's off to enjoy herself with a new flame.
Oh, good for her.
So we shall see how that progresses for her in the next 12 months for her. And my other daughter is really progressing well with her. She does.
Helen, are you there? Helen? Oh, Helen. I don't know what happened to Helen. She was here a minute ago, and according to our connections here in the studio, she is still with us. Helen, are you there? Craig, can you see if we can... Is Helen with us?
I'm here.
Where did you go?
You know what? I said something, and I wasn't meant to say it, and nobody heard it. Well, isn't it? See, Spirit works in amazing ways. Thank you very much. So I won't say what I was going to say.
I don't want you to say what you were going to say, because I don't want this to happen again, because it scared the hell out of me. I figured you were abducted by a wild and woolly kangaroo.
That is amazing. All right. So there you go. See, Spirit works in mysterious ways, and I thank you for getting me out of trouble.
Oh, you devil, you. Listen, we're coming up to the time where you and I have to say so long, but once again I want to thank you so much for coming on the show tonight and allowing us to share the way that you see 2017 with our listeners. And to you, Dennis, and your family, nothing but the very best wishes for this Christmas and many more to come, and nothing but a great new year for you all.
Merry Christmas to you, Rob.
Hey, Merry Christmas, Dennis. This is the first time I've actually heard you speak. I thought maybe she was just making it up that she had a husband by the name of Dennis.
No, I've been told to be quiet.
Well, my blessings to both you. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Dennis, a pleasure talking to you, my friend. And I look forward to the next time you join us back here in the X Zone. Don't be a stranger.
God bless everybody.
God bless you now. Bye-bye, Dennis. X Zone Nation, Helen, Rees, and Dennis has been my guest this hour. www.eventshelenrees.com. I'll be back on the other side of this break as we continue here in the X Zone from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. My name is Rob McConnell. Don't go away.